If I told you that the world's most downloaded education app was completely free, built by a computer scientist and a professor, and made learning feel more like scrolling TikTok than sitting in a class? That app is Duolingo. With over 500 million with users, it's become the Netflix of language learning, pulling people in with dopamine pumping rewards, streaks, and owl notifications that feel like a game, but are actually rewiring how the world learns. But here's what most people don't realize: Duolingo didn't get here by accident. Behind that quirky branding and gamified app is a masterclass in smart hustling, using creativity, data, and mission driven thinking to build a $1 billion business. So, how did a free app with no teachers, no tuition, and no textbooks turn into an ed tech empire? And what can you learn about building something impactful, whether you're growing a side hustle, building an audience, or just trying to get consistent with your goals? Let's break it all down the Duolingo way.
Chapter 1. The mission that started it all. Why Duolingo was built differently. Before Duolingo became the global app we all know today. Before the memes, the streak reminders, and the infamous green owl guilt-tripping you into practicing. It started with a mission, a big one. Not, let's make the next hit app. Not, how do we monetize language learning? But, how do we make education free and accessible for everyone? That was the question posed by Luis von Ahn, a Guatemalan-born computer scientist and the genius behind CAPTCHA and reCAPTCHA. Yes, the tech that verifies you're human while secretly digitizing books. After selling reCAPTCHA to Google, Luis could have done anything. He had the money, the credentials, the reputation. But instead, he teamed up with Severin Hacker, a Swiss PhD student, and focused on a problem that was deeply personal: access to education. Luis grew up in Guatemala, where quality education was a luxury, available mostly to the wealthy. He knew firsthand what it meant for a child to be bright, curious, and eager to learn, but stuck behind a paywall. So, he and Severin set out to solve a problem that most startups don't even try to touch. Can we teach the world, at scale, for free? And that's how Duolingo was born. But here's the twist. They didn't want to make another boring school app. No pop quizzes, no outdated interfaces, no endless textbooks in digital form. They wanted to make something fun. Something people would come back to not because they had to, but because they wanted to. So, they studied video games. They looked at platforms like Candy Crush and Angry Birds and asked, what makes people obsessively play for hours? And how can we use that energy for something meaningful? Duolingo's early mission wasn't just noble, it was strategic. They knew that the only way to teach the masses at scale was to get people hooked on learning. Make it addictive, but productive. Fun, but focused. Free, but valuable. That's the genius behind Duolingo. It's not just a language app, it's a tech company with a heart-first mission, disguised as a game, powered by world-class behavioral psychology and design. And that's what makes it different from 99% of other education platforms. They didn't start with monetization. They started with a problem. They didn't chase trends. They built trust. And that's your first big creator lesson from Duolingo's story. Start with impact, not income. When your mission is real, your audience feels it. And when you build something useful, consistent, and accessible, growth follows. Duolingo's mission wasn't to get rich. It was to get the world learning. And it worked. Next, we'll look at how they took that powerful mission and gamified it into something users couldn't stop using. That's where the real magic begins. Chapter 2. Making Learning Addictive. How gamification became Duolingo's superpower. If the mission gave Duolingo its heart, gamification is what gave it its rocket fuel. Because let's be honest, most people don't wake up thinking, I can't wait to study Spanish grammar today. That's where Duolingo did something different. Instead of trying to fight human nature, they worked with it. They studied games like Candy Crush, mobile habits, and even TikTok's feedback loop. And they asked one simple question: what make people come back every day, even when there's no real reward? The answer? Streaks, levels, sounds, emojis, progress bars, leaderboards. Every little detail on Duolingo is crafted to keep your brain asking for just one more lesson. When you complete a level, the app throws you confetti. When you miss a day, the Duo Owl sends you a sad notification. And when you keep going, you build a streak, and we all know, don't lose your streak. But here's the genius part. It's not manipulation, it's motivation. Duolingo's team worked with behavioral scientists to build a system that rewards effort, not perfection. It's not about mastering a language overnight. It's about consistency, about logging in today, even if just for 5 minutes, and then doing it again tomorrow. This micro-commitment model rewires your brain. You're not learning, you're winning. You're not studying, you're playing. And over time, those small wins compound into something big. This is your next smart hustler takeaway. Don't just create content or products, create experiences. Build systems that reward progress. Make your brand feel like a game people want to keep playing. Think about your YouTube channel, your brand, your email list. Are you giving people a reason to come back daily? Are you showing them their growth? Are you making them feel like they're getting better every time they engage with you? Duolingo's power lies in how it makes users feel: encouraged, in control, and low-key addicted to their progress. And that's the beauty of it. Gamification isn't about turning everything into a game. It's about understanding how humans behave and making your brand work with those instincts. So, while other education apps focus on content, Duolingo focused on behavior. They didn't just teach, they made people want to learn. And the results? Mind-blowing. Millions of users come back every single day. And the app became the #1 language learning platform in the world, without ever charging a dime up front. In the next chapter, we'll explore how Duolingo took this sticky user experience and turned it into a powerful business model without losing their mission. And that part? It's pure entrepreneurial genius. Chapter 3: Monetizing Mission: How Duolingo Turned Free Users into a billion-dollar business. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Because for most apps, the path to profitability is simple. Charge up front, lock features behind a paywall, go after the people with money. But Duolingo did the exact opposite. They said, we're keeping it free, and we're still going to win. At a time when edtech platforms were selling courses, subscriptions, or expensive software licenses, Duolingo took a bold risk. Grow first, monetize later, but never compromise access. That mindset confused a lot of investors early on. Where's the money? They asked. Where's the business model? But what Duolingo understood, that most businesses miss, is this. When you build trust and scale first, monetization becomes a natural extension, not a distraction. So, here's how they pulled it off. 1. Freemium done right. The app is 100% free to use. You can learn dozens of languages, progress through levels, and get value, without paying a cent. But for users who want extra perks, like ad-free learning, unlimited hearts, mistake retries, or personalized practice, they offer Duolingo Plus, now called Super Duolingo. The pricing is low enough to be accessible, but the value is high enough that millions of users upgrade voluntarily. It's not about restricting access, it's about enhancing the experience, and that's a monetization move every creator should remember. Don't sell access, sell upgrades. Give generously, then offer more to those who want to go deeper. Second, add revenue without ruining the experience. Duolingo also monetizes through ads in the free version. But here's the catch. The ads don't interrupt the learning flow aggressively. They appear after a lesson, not during. And they're skippable, respectful, minimal. That's what makes it sustainable. They earn without alienating their audience. As a creator, this is a powerful reminder. monetization shouldn't destroy user experience. It should sit quietly beside it. 3. Certification and B2B services. Then there's the Duolingo English Test, a standardized test for non-native English speakers applying to universities or jobs. It's cheaper, faster, and more accessible than traditional tests like TOEFL. And universities worldwide, including Ivy League schools, accept it. This business arm taps into enterprise-level revenue without compromising the app's core mission. So Duolingo didn't just monetize the user, they monetized the ecosystem. And today, Duolingo is a publicly traded company worth over $6 billion, with revenue in the hundreds of millions, all while keeping the core product free. Why? Because they played the long game. They didn't rush to monetize. They built value first, then added layers of revenue that aligned with their users, not against them. And that's the big takeaway for creators and smart hustlers. Build trust before profit. Create value before offers. Monetize in a way that feels like a service, not a squeeze. In the next chapter, we'll look at how Duolingo's quirky, meme-driven brand personality became a marketing machine that turned users into fans, and fans into promoters. You're going to love this one. Chapter 4. Making Learning Viral. How Duolingo's brand became a marketing weapon. By now, you know that Duolingo has a mission, a killer product, and a smart monetization model. But here's the part that truly sets them apart in a crowded app store. They made language learning go viral, and not by spending millions on traditional ads, not by hiring celebrities, but by doing what most brands are terrified to do. Show personality, be weird, be playful, be the green owl that threatens your streak if you don't practice. The rise of Duo the Owl. What started as a simple app mascot turned into a full-blown internet character. Duo the Owl isn't just a logo, he's a meme machine. He'll pop up on your phone saying things like, "You haven't practiced Spanish in 2 days. I'm not mad, just disappointed." Or in TikTok videos, "You missed your streak again. I'm outside your house." These posts are ridiculous, but brilliant, because they tap into humor, relatability, and internet culture. They make Duolingo unforgettable, and they turn a simple app notification into a moment worth sharing. Owning the meme strategy. Duolingo leaned all the way into meme culture, and that decision exploded their brand. Their TikTok alone has millions of followers, and their videos regularly rack up millions of views, with nothing but low-cost, in-office content featuring duo dancing, lurking, or being hilariously passive-aggressive. They're not trying to be perfect. They're trying to be human, and that's what makes it work. As a creator or entrepreneur, here's the lesson. People don't share polished. They share personality. Stop worrying about being overly professional. Start thinking about how to be memorable. Your audience is more likely to remember how your brand made them feel than your logo or tagline. Duolingo mastered this. From fans to promoters. What happens when people love your brand this much? They don't just use it. They talk about it. They post screenshots of their streaks. They share the memes. They even defend the owl in comment sections. Duolingo turned casual users into loyal fans, and fans into free marketing. And they didn't need expensive campaigns to do it. They just stayed consistent, creative, and unapologetically fun. So what can you take from this? Let your brand breathe. Don't be afraid to have fun. Create content that your audience wants to interact with, even if it's silly. Because in the digital age, boring doesn't scale, but bold and authentic does. And now, to wrap it all up, let's bring this full circle and talk about how Duolingo's journey, from mission to meme, reveals the blueprint for smart, sustainable, purpose-driven hustle that any creator or entrepreneur can learn from.
So what can we really take away from Duolingo's journey? It wasn't just an app. It was a mission, a mindset, and a masterclass in smart hustling. Duolingo didn't explode because it followed trends. It exploded because it followed its purpose. It didn't become the #1 education app by selling hard or shouting louder. It won by making learning fun, putting community first, and showing up with personality. Here's what Duolingo teaches us. Number one, you don't need to monetize everything on day one. You need to build trust, deliver value, and then monetize a way that aligns with your audience. Number two, you don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent, creative, and just playful enough that people want to keep coming back. Number three, you don't need a big team or a fancy production. You need a clear purpose, a smart system, and a willingness to show your human side. That's the Duolingo way. And it's a blueprint that any smart creator, business owner, or a side hustler can use. So, here's your call to action. Drop a comment below and tell me what's one thing you're going to gamify, simplify, or make fun in your hustle this week. Whether it's your brand, your content, or your daily routine. Let's build with purpose and grow with play. If you get value from this breakdown, hit that button. It helps more creators see it. And if you want more deep dives like this into smart business, branding, and creator strategy, subscribe and join the Brain and Bank community. Because the future belongs to those who can blend intention with creativity. And if Duolingo can teach the world for free and go viral while doing it, you can build something powerful too. Also remember to download my free ebook and journal in the description. Let's keep growing, and I will see you in the next one.